Welcome back to the Artificial Fluency podcast. I'm Emma. Adam answered, "Yes, if I pick it up in the next 30 minutes, I can deliver it on time." Claire gave him the address, and Adam quickly rode to her house, picked up the package, and delivered it by 2:45 p.m. When he arrived, Claire came out and said, "Wow, thank you. I wasn't sure it would arrive so fast." Adam said, "You're welcome. I'm happy I could help." This story shows a typical conversation with service workers. Here are some helpful expressions. How can I help you? Is that possible? I'll be there in 30 minutes. Thank you. I wasn't sure it would arrive so fast. Let me know when you want me to continue with more real-life stories and helpful English expressions. We're just getting started. Thank you. Let's continue with more real-life English practice. These stories will help you understand how people use English in daily situations. By listening carefully and thinking about what the speakers say, you'll improve your listening and writing skills at the same time. This is the English Pod community, and here we upload useful English practice episodes every single day. If you're new here, press the like button and keep listening so you can improve a little bit every day. Now, let's hear a longer story about two friends, Daniel and James. They both work as electricians in the same company. One day, their manager asked them to visit a client's home to check some electrical problems. The house was in a new neighborhood, and the client was a woman named Linda. When Daniel and James arrived, Linda opened the door and said, "Thank you for coming. The lights in the living room are not working, and one of the power outlets in the kitchen is making a strange noise." Daniel replied, "No problem, we'll take a look at everything and let you know what needs to be fixed." James asked, "When did the problem start?" Linda said, "About 3 days ago. At first the lights started flickering, then yesterday they just stopped working." Daniel and James walked inside and began checking the wires and switches. Daniel found a loose wire in the light switch and said, Here's the issue. This wire is not connected properly. That's why the lights are not working." James checked the kitchen and said, "This outlet is a bit old. It needs to be replaced. It's better to change it now to avoid any risk." Linda said, "Okay, please go ahead. I just want everything to be safe." They worked for about an hour and fixed everything. Daniel tested the light, and it turned on perfectly. Linda smiled and said, "Thank you both so much. That was fast and very professional." Daniel replied, "You're welcome. If you ever have any other problems, just give us a call." This story shows how people use clear, polite English in work and service situations. Here are some useful expressions you can learn. We'll take a look and let you know. When did the problem start? This wire is not connected properly. It needs to be replaced. Thank you. That was fast and professional. Now let's move on to another story, this time about a man named Edward and his wife Rebecca. They own a small grocery shop near a school. Every morning, Edward opens the shop at 6:30, and Rebecca prepares fresh bread and sandwiches for the customers. Most of their customers are teachers, students, and neighbors. One Thursday morning, a new customer walked in. His name was Stephen. He looked around and said, "This shop smells amazing. Do you bake the bread here?" Rebecca smiled and said, "Yes, I bake fresh bread every morning. Would you like to try a sandwich?" Stephen said, "Sure, what kind do you have?" Rebecca replied, "We have egg and cheese, chicken with lettuce, and a vegetable one with cucumber and tomato." Stephen chose the chicken sandwich. While he was eating, he said, "This is really good. I just moved to this neighborhood, and I think I'll be coming here often." Edward said, "Welcome to the area. We're happy to have new neighbors." Stephen said, "Thank you. It's great to find a friendly place like this." This simple story shows how friendly small talk works in English. It also teaches how to talk about food, give options, and make someone feel welcome. Useful expressions here are: do you bake the bread here? Would you like to try a sandwich? What kind do you have? Welcome to the area. It's great to find a friendly place. Now let's talk about Anna. Anna is a nurse. She works in a community health center. Every day she meets many different people who come for checkups or basic medical help. One morning, an older man named Mr. Johnson came to the clinic. He looked tired and said, "Good morning. I've been having some pain in my back for the past few days." Anna said, "Good morning, Mr. Johnson. I'll take your blood pressure first and then ask you a few questions." After checking, she asked, "Can you describe the pain? Is it sharp or dull? Does it come and go, or is it always there?" Mr. Johnson said, "It's a dull pain, mostly when I sit for a long time or when I wake up in the morning." Anna wrote down the information and said, "All right, the doctor will come to speak with you in a few minutes. In the meantime, would you like some water?" Mr. Johnson said, "Yes, thank you." After the visit, he came back a week later and said, "Anna, thank you for your kindness last time. The doctor gave me some medicine and exercises, and I'm feeling much better." Anna smiled and said, "That's great news. I'm happy to hear that." This kind of conversation teaches polite and clear language used in healthcare and daily communication. Useful phrases from this story include: "I've been having some pain. Can you describe the pain? It's a dull pain. Thank you for your kindness. I'm happy to hear that." Let's now go to another longer story about a couple named Benjamin and Laura. They are preparing for a family dinner. It's a special day because Benjamin's parents are visiting after many months. Laura is in the kitchen cooking, and Benjamin is setting the table. Laura said, "Benjamin, can you help me with the vegetables? I need them chopped quickly." Benjamin said, "Of course, just tell me how small you want them." Laura laughed and said, "Not too small. Medium size is fine." While chopping, Benjamin asked, "Do we have enough plates for everyone?" Laura said, "Yes, I counted. Your parents, your sister, her husband, and their 2 kids. That's 7. Guests plus the 2 of us. 9 people in total." Benjamin finished chopping and said, "I'm excited. It's been a long time since we had everyone together." Later, the guests arrived. Benjamin's mother said, "Laura, the house looks lovely. Thank you for having us." Laura said, "It's our pleasure. I hope you enjoy the food." They all sat down, shared stories, laughed, and had a wonderful evening. This story is useful for learning English about cooking, planning, and hosting guests. Some helpful phrases include: "Can you help me with the vegetables?" "Just tell me how small you want them." "Do we have enough plates?" "Thank you for having us." "I hope you enjoy the food." Let's go to one more story for now. It's about a man named Andrew. Andrew works at a construction site. One afternoon while working, he saw one of the new workers, Sam, looking confused. Andrew walked over and asked, "Hey Sam, do you need help?" Sam said, "Yes, I'm not sure how to read this part of the plan. I don't want to make a mistake." Andrew looked at the blueprint and explained, "This symbol here means we need to leave a space of 2 feet, and this part shows where the pipe will go." Sam nodded and said, "Thanks, Andrew. That helps a lot." Andrew said, "Don't worry. We all needed help when we started. If you have questions, just ask me anytime." Sam said, "I will. I want to learn and do the job right." Sam said, "I will. I want to learn and do the job right." That evening, Andrew told his wife about the day and said, "Helping new workers reminds me of when I started. It feels good to be useful." This story shows how to give and ask for help at work. It's also good for learning teamwork language. Useful phrases. Do you need help? I don't want to make a mistake. That helps a lot. Just ask me anytime. It feels good to be useful. Let's continue with another big story. This one is about two neighbors, Emily and Susan. They live in a quiet neighborhood with lots of trees and friendly families. Emily is a mother of two young children, and Susan is a retired school teacher. Even though they are different in age, they are good friends and help each other often. One Tuesday morning, Emily was in her backyard hanging clothes to dry. Suddenly she heard a knock on the fence. It was Susan. Susan said, "Good morning, Emily. I baked some fresh bread this morning. Would you like some?" Emily smiled and said, "Good morning. That's so kind of you, Susan. I'd love to try it." Susan handed her a warm loaf of bread and said, "It's still warm. Let me know what you think." Emily said, "I will. Thank you so much. Actually, I was just thinking about you. My husband is working late this week and I'm feeling a little tired with the kids." "It's been hard," Susan said. "Oh dear, I remember those days. If you need help watching the children for a bit, just let me know. I can read them some stories or play in the yard with them." Emily felt thankful and said, "Really? That would mean so much to me. Even 30 minutes would help me a lot." Susan said, "No problem at all. Just knock on my door anytime." Later that day, Emily brought her children to Susan's house. Susan read them a story about a fox and a turtle, and the children laughed and listened carefully. Emily sat on the porch and drank some tea in peace for the first time in days. This story shows kindness, helpful language, and how to offer support to someone. Here are some useful expressions from the story. Would you like some? Let me know what you think. It's been hard. That would mean so much to me. Just knock on my door anytime. Now let's listen to a longer story about a man named David. David is a bus driver. Every weekday he starts his route at 6 a.m. and finishes around 3 p.m. He drives through many parts of the city, picking up people going to work, school, or shopping. One morning, a young boy named Oliver got on the bus with his backpack and a notebook in his hand. David noticed that the boy looked a little nervous. David said, "Good morning. First day at a new school?" Oliver nodded and said, "Yes, I'm a bit nervous. I don't know anyone there." David smiled and said, "I remember that feeling. When I was your age, I had to change schools twice. But here's a little secret. Everyone is nervous at first." "You'll be fine," Oliver said. "I hope so. I don't know where to sit or what to say." David said, "Just smile, say hello, and ask someone their name. That's always a good start." Oliver smiled and said, "Thank you. That helps." David said, "No problem. You'll do great. Just be yourself." Every day for the next week, Oliver got on the same bus. Each time David asked him how school was going. On Friday, Oliver said, "I made 2 new friends today. We played together at lunch." David said, "That's great to hear. I told you you'd be fine." This story teaches how to speak kindly to others and give encouragement. Some useful phrases are, first day at a new school. Everyone is nervous at first. That helps. Just be yourself. I made 2 new friends today. Now let's go to another story. This one is about Rachel and her husband Thomas. They are planning to move to a new house. They have lived in a small apartment for many years, but now they have a baby and need more space. After searching online and visiting several houses, they found one they liked. Rachel said, "Thomas, this one feels right. The kitchen is big and the yard has space for our baby to play." Thomas said, "I like it too. The neighborhood is quiet and the park is nearby. It's also close to your sister's place." Rachel nodded and said, "Let's talk to the agent and make an offer." They met with the real estate agent the next day. The agent said, "This house is new on the market, but I believe the owners will accept your offer. Let's fill out the paperwork." Thomas asked, "How long does the process usually take?" The Tory agent replied, "Usually around 4 weeks, but sometimes faster. We'll keep you informed every step of the way." After a few days, the agent called them and said, "Good news. The owners accepted your offer. You're going to be homeowners soon." Rachel was so happy she called her sister right away and said, "We got the house. I can't wait to decorate the baby's room." This story is useful for learning about buying a house and using polite, clear questions. Useful expressions from this story. This one feels right. Let's make an offer. How long does the process take? You're going to be homeowners. I can't wait to decorate the baby's room. Now let's hear another story. This time it's about a man named Henry who owns a small repair shop. He fixes shoes, zippers, watches, and umbrellas. He's been working in the same shop for 25 years and many people in the area know him. One morning, a woman named Grace walked into his shop holding a pair of boots. Grace said, "Good morning. The heel on this boot is loose. Can you fix it?" Henry said, "Good morning, let me take a look. Yes, I can fix it. It'll be ready by this afternoon." Grace said, "That's great. These are my favorite boots." Henry smiled and said, "I'll take good care of them." At 3 p.m., Grace returned. Henry handed her the boots. Grace said, "Wow, they look like new. Thank you so much." Henry said, "You're welcome. Always happy to help." Grace said, "Do you also fix zippers? My jacket has a broken one." Henry said, "Yes, bring it tomorrow. I'll have a look." This story teaches language used in shops, giving service, and customer communication. Here are some useful expressions. Can you fix it? Let me take a look. They look like new. Always happy to help. Bring it tomorrow. Let's now continue with another detailed story. It's about a man named Paul who works in a city office. Every day he takes the same route to work. One morning, while walking to the bus stop, he saw a woman struggling to carry a box. Paul walked over and said, "Hi, do you need help with that box?" The woman said, "Oh yes, please, it's heavier than I thought." Paul helped her carry the box to her car and said, "There you go, all set." The woman said, "Thank you so much, that was very kind." Paul smiled and said, "No problem, have a good day." Later that same week, Paul saw the woman again, this time inside a cafe near his office. She said, "Hey, you're the one who helped me with the box." Paul said, "Yes, small world." They sat down and had tea. They talked about their jobs, families, and the neighborhood. They became good friends and now meet for tea once a week. This story teaches helpful and friendly language. Useful expressions. Do you need help with that? It's heavier than I thought. That was very kind. Small world. We meet for tea once a week. I'm glad you're enjoying the stories. Let's keep going. With more real-life examples to help improve your English listening and writing skills. Remember, these situations are similar to what you might experience in daily life, and listening to these will help you use English more naturally. This next story is about a man named John who works in a coffee shop. John is a friendly person, and he loves making coffee for his customers. He's been working at the same coffee shop for almost 5 years. He knows many of his customers by name, and some of them come in every day for their regular coffee. One morning, a woman named Sarah came in. Sarah was a writer, and she often sat in the coffee shop for hours, typing on her laptop. John greeted her with a smile. "Good morning, Sarah. The usual coffee today?" John asked. Sarah smiled back. Yes, please, John. I'm working on my new book, and I need something strong to keep me awake. John nodded. I've got just the thing. I'll make you a strong cappuccino. While he made the coffee, they chatted a bit. So, how's the book coming along? John asked. Sarah sighed. It's going well, but I'm having trouble finishing the last chapter. I just can't find the right words. John smiled and said, That's tough. But you've been writing for years now, haven't you? I'm sure you'll finish it soon. Sarah nodded. I hope so. Sometimes I get stuck, but I always manage to push through. It's just part of being a writer, I guess. John handed her the coffee. Here you go. This should help you stay awake for the rest of the day. Sarah took the cup and said, Thanks, John. I'll definitely need it. This story is great for learning how to greet people, ask about their day, and talk about common things like work and hobbies. Some useful phrases are, the usual coffee today. How's the book coming along? I'm sure you'll finish it soon. Thanks, John. I'll definitely need it. Now let's talk about a story about a couple, Anna and Tom. They've been married for 5 years, and they're planning a big surprise for their anniversary. They decided to go on a weekend trip to the mountains to relax and celebrate. Anna said, Tom, I can't believe it's been 5 years already. We should do something special for our anniversary. Tom smiled. I was thinking the same thing. How about we go away for the weekend? I found this beautiful cabin in the mountains. We can hike, relax by the fireplace, and just enjoy the fresh air. Anna's face lit up. That sounds amazing. I've always wanted to go hiking. Let's do it. They packed their bags and, on Saturday morning, they drove to the mountains. The cabin was small but cozy, with a beautiful view of the mountains. When they arrived, they put their bags inside, grabbed some water, and went for a walk on a nearby trail. Tom said, This is so peaceful. It's nice to get away from the busy city for a while. Anna smiled and said, I agree. It's nice to spend time together without distractions. They spent the weekend hiking, reading, and cooking meals together. On their last day, Tom surprised Anna with a small gift. I know we agreed not to exchange gifts, but I couldn't resist, Tom said as he handed her a small box. Anna opened it and found a necklace. Tom, this is beautiful. Thank you so much. Tom said, I'm glad you like it. It's just a little something to remind you of our special weekend. Anna hugged him and said, I love it. And I love you. This story is great for practicing how to talk about relationships, surprises, and special events. Here are some useful phrases. We should do something special for our anniversary. It's nice to get away from the busy city. I couldn't resist. It's just a little something. I love it, and I love you. Next, let's hear a story about a man named James. James is a teacher at a local high school. He loves his job, and he's passionate about helping students succeed. Every year he works with a group of students who struggle with reading and writing, and he helps them improve their skills. One day a student named Lily came to see James after class. Mr. James, can I talk to you for a minute? Lily asked, looking a little nervous. James smiled and said, Of course, Lily. What's on your mind? Lily said, I've been having trouble with my essays. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I study hard, but I still can't get a good grade. James nodded. I understand. Writing can be challenging, but don't worry, you'll get better. Why don't we look at your last essay together? They sat down, and James went over Lily's essay carefully. You've got some great ideas here, Lily, he said. But your paragraphs could be a little clearer. Let's work on making your points more focused. Lily said, I see. I always have so many ideas, but I don't know how to organize them. James smiled. That's normal. You just need to take it step by step. Let's start with an outline before you write, and then we can work on the details. Lily said, That sounds like a good idea. Thank you for your help, Mr. James. James said, You're welcome, Lily. I'm sure you'll improve with practice. Over the next few weeks, Lily worked hard following James's advice. She practiced organizing her essays, and slowly her grades improved. She was grateful for the support from her teacher. This story is great for learning how to offer help and give advice. Some useful phrases include, Can I talk to you for a minute? Let's work on making your points more focused. You just need to take it step by step. You'll improve with practice. Thank you for your help. Let's move on to another story about a woman named Sophie. Sophie works as a nurse at a local hospital. Every day, she helps patients recover from illness or surgery, and she's always ready to offer support to her colleagues. One afternoon, Sophie was working with a new nurse, Emma. It was Emma's first day at the hospital, and she was feeling a bit nervous. Sophie smiled and said, Hi, Emma. Don't worry, you'll do great. I know it's a lot to learn at first, but you'll get the hang of it. Emma smiled nervously. Thanks, Sophie. I just want to make sure I'm doing everything. Right, Sophie said, That's a good attitude. Let me show you around and introduce you to some of the patients. You'll see that everyone is friendly, and we work together to help people feel better. As the afternoon went on, Emma became more comfortable. Sophie showed her how to take vital signs, check patient charts, and handle medications. By the end of the shift, Emma was feeling much more confident. I really appreciate your help today, Sophie. I feel much better about everything, Emma said. Sophie smiled and said, You're welcome, Emma. You did a great job today. Keep asking questions and you'll continue to improve. This story is great for learning how to support others and build confidence. Some useful phrases. Don't worry, you'll do great. You'll get the hang of it. We work together to help people feel better. You did a great job today. Keep asking questions and you'll continue to improve. Thank you so much for listening. I hope these stories and examples have helped you practice your English listening skills and gave you some useful phrases to use in real-life situations. Remember, improving your English takes time, but with consistent practice, you'll definitely get better every day. If you enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to our channel, The English Pod Community. We upload new episodes regularly to help you improve your English in a fun and engaging way. Keep practicing, keep listening, and most importantly, keep learning. I'll be back soon with more stories, tips, and real-life examples to help you become more